Automatic, Addison.
In this tutorial, you will learn how to change the default Gazebo camera view. When working with robotics and ROS2 simulations in Gazebo, controlling the camera view is essential for better visualization and interaction with your models. In this tutorial, I'll show you how to programmatically change the camera view using what's called Gazebo service calls. And you should know that by default, Gazebo launches with a standard camera perspective that might not be ideal for your specific needs. Whether you're debugging robot behavior, creating documentation, or preparing demonstrations, being able to adjust the camera position and orientation can significantly improve your workflow. Okay, let's launch a sample world in Gazebo. We need to first start by opening a terminal window, and let's move to the file which contains the world file that we want to launch. We'll do a CD. ROS2, workspace, source, Yaboom ROS Master, Yaboom ROS Master Gazebo, worlds. Okay, and you can see our world files in here. Now we need to tell Gazebo where the models in the world are located. And to do that, we need to type this command here. Pause the video, take a look at it. So export gzsim resource path, and then home, Ubuntu, ROS2 source, Yaboom ROS Master, Yaboom ROS Master Gazebo, and models. This tells our terminal where the path is for the models that make up the Gazebo world. And when you've got that in there, press enter, all good. Okay, and let's launch the cafe world. So I'm going to do gz sim and then cafe.world. Let's let it open. Let's expand that. Okay, and you can see how when the world first loads, this is the default camera position, and this view typically shows the environment from a diagonal perspective, which might not be optimal for your own specific needs. So how do we change the camera view? So to modify the camera position and orientation, we need to use the GUI Move to Pose service. So let's do that now. I'm going to type the whole command in the terminal window. So open a new terminal. Let's push this to the side. There's our world behind here, and you're going to type this long command right here. So gz service s GUI move to pose service rec type, and then all this gobbledygook right here. And the key pieces right here are the position you want your camera to be and the orientation. And this is a quaternion, a specific way to represent an angle in a 3D environment. That's the orientation, and then the X, Y, and Z position. So that's how you do it. You can see the X, Y, and Z position of the camera in the 3D space in Gazebo, and how we want our camera oriented. Okay. And then we've got also a timeout right here, a timeout which is 2,000 milliseconds for the service call to complete. Otherwise, everything will time out. So this is how you do it. gz service, and then all this gobbledygook right here, and then the position and orientation you want the camera to be in. And so just look at this again. So position 0, what does that mean? X0, Y -2, and Z2. Well, it means we want to place the camera centered on the x-axis, the Gazebo's x-axis. We want it to be positioned 2 meters back, okay, on the y-axis, so in the -y direction with respect to the origin of the Gazebo world. And then we want to place the camera 2 meters above the ground, 2 meters up. Okay. So now let's press, I'm going to actually, before I press enter, let's get in the screen. Let's press enter. And you can see how the camera view changed. Okay, and that's the orientation. So we've got our position right, but the orientation values, that quaternion that you saw in the command, creates a viewing angle that looks slightly downward and rotated. So you can see a pretty clear view of the screen. Okay, so at any point you can use the mouse to move around, adjust the X, Y, and Z position. So this is moving higher. So we're moving higher in the Z direction. Depending on how you want to orient things, you can use the middle mouse button to kind of change the orientation of Gazebo, move things around, and just experiment with different values, different looks to get everything perfect for your needs. All right. And if at any point you want to get the current camera view pose, you type in this command, GZ topic E T, and then GUI camera pose. Press enter, and here we can get the XYZ position. You see Z are about 10 meters above the ground of the cafe. And you got the orientation right here. Now just keep spitting that out. Press Control C. Being able to programmatically control Gazebo's camera view is a powerful feature for robotics development and simulation. This command gives you precise control over the visualization, making it easier to observe and interact with your simulated environment. So remember this command right here. And remember that you can adjust the position and orientation values to achieve different perspective based on your specific needs. So the example values here just provide a good starting point for you for further customization. Thank you for watching, and keep building.